Minecraft Live happened. They showed Peko. This is huge.
It's so happy. Who's that big marshmallow with a smiley face?
What is happening? They announced the new game drop. We got the Nautilus.
The Nautilus.
It comes with armor. It's rideable. It can pause your oxygen, which is really cool. There was a new structure. I think I could just be delusional and not remember if this is already in the game, but that's that. It has its variants. So there's a hostile version of the Nautilus, which is kind of cool. More hostile water creatures instead of just the drowned. The bigger thing that comes with the game drop is the new weapon.
The spear.
I'm pretty sure the first weapon in 15 years to come with actual tiers. So from wood to netherite. It's kind of like the mace, but horizontal. It's a distance, speed, damage type thing, like how the mace is how far you fall. So more mechanically interesting weapons is always good. Another thing that finally came to the game is the zombie horse.
So the zombie horse now spawn with the zombie.
No
holding a spear in his
way!
hand.
It's in the game, but just not in survival. It's been years. It has never ever made an appearance. So it's now in the base game, which is cool. It's going to make the game overall more difficult because it allows zombies to spawn on top of them, which also carry spears. So if they can do the charge attack, which is the one based on like how fast you're going, they're going to be really annoying. They're going to be extremely annoying. They're going to do so much damage. They're going to be really annoying. Don't know how common they're going to be. That's for whenever the pre-release beta snapshot comes out. That was kind of all they announced during Minecraft Live, so I didn't feel super underwhelmed. It was good, but maybe I'm just expecting too much. This year we had 4 game drops. We had Spring to Life, which was, I'd say, the weaker drop of the year. Mostly quality of life type overhaul to mobs, plants. I think there was a biome change. I can't fully remember. And then we had Chase the Skies, which was really cool. We had the Happy Guest, so another... It's kind of like the sky equivalent of the Nautilus. It's really, really helpful. Nautilus being able to help build underwater with no oxygen worries is good. And the gas being able to, you know, build in the sky freely. You can stand on it, have multiple people on it. Overall, just really, really good. I think the only other, like, majorly interesting thing that came with Chase the Skies was the shaders for Bedrock, but I'm a Java player, so it doesn't really impact me that much. Oh, and the locator bar, which it's cool. But I also kind of don't like it because you can kind of see where everyone is. I like the being able to be sneaky. It's kind of funny. So I'm not too big on that. The third drop of the year, which is probably my favorite one, is the Copper Age. Now, this added all sorts. Got new block variants for copper. It gives copper more use. Copper Golem is huge. It's both good for redstone and non-redstone users. Tons of cases, mostly the storage system thing. I will 100% be using this for a storage system. Easier than using the ugly hopper, just big clunky, not clunky, but it's just big. More block variants for copper, so we get copper torches, copper bars. There is the copper armor and tools. Now I just probably won't use them. I don't see a huge use case for them because iron isn't exactly hard to get. Now there is diamonds really, which I'm going to talk about that later as a separate thing. I just don't see a full use case. It's cool. It's nice having new sets. It's really nice, but I'm just probably not going to use it. We also got end flashes. Where's the end update? All this copper stuff I'm pretty sure releases on the 30th of this month, which is Tuesday. This was all announced during the current Minecraft Live that just happened, which is great. Now, comparing this to 2023 game drops, I'd say there's been more game drops, less features. In 2023, we had Trails and Tales, which had a lot of blocks. It had a lot going for it, but nothing too crazy. It was, mob-wise, it was the Sniffer, which, to me, not that great. It doesn't do much other than look cool and give you 2 plant variants, which I think I have used once in a house. I had the same thoughts with the Creaking. It's a really, really cool mob. Probably my favorite mob in the game. It has a cool mechanical system. The biome it's in is amazing. One of the, a whitewood type. Can't argue with that. But other than that, you don't get anything for killing it. And there's nothing else other than the whitewood in the Pale Garden, which isn't too special, I guess. Now, if the Creaking was defending something more valuable, it, incentivizes the player to go there, but I've collected wood and never went back. I've never been back since. The second drop of 2023 was the bats and pots. This was the last drop of the year, and all it did was change bats and pots. That was the update. They were there, we were done. So the whole point of this rant is a lot of these features are really good. I'm glad they're adding more. Obviously, you can't argue with that adding more. But the overall impact to the game doesn't really change that much. I don't really go for these new features that often unless it's something really crazy like the Copper Golem. Obviously, block changes and block variance is nice for building. I'm going to compare this to, well, when the caves changed or the nether changed. Now, I know these are much bigger updates and I don't expect these to happen all the time because that is just completely unrealistic. But they took the core parts of the game and built on what was missing. Caves had, well, they were so basic. They were way basic before the cave update. And I know the cave update took, was it 2 years to fully complete? I think it was 2 years to fully complete, which is kind of crazy now I think about it. The nether, probably one of the best updates we've had. New armor set, biomes, just a complete overhaul, a really good overhaul to the nether. Now, it'd be nice if we had that for another part of the game, but we won't talk about that. One of the other core parts that would be nice to change is progression. I really think progression needs a decent change. Nothing too crazy, I guess. And it kind of feels more like a balancing issue rather than like a features issue. XP is one of those. It doesn't feel like there's a different variety of ways to get XP. I end up doing the same thing every time just because it works. We have gotten maybe 1 or 2 new earlier XP farms using some newer features, but other than that, it tends to be the same stuff. It'd be good if we had different ways, like farms. Well, not farms, but crop farms. Instead of, your mob grinders or your other XP farms. And most of the time you do end up just wasting it on re-enchanting, or you end up going down the other path, which is villagers. You just abuse villagers. Now, villagers are just completely broken. You can just get anything you want, basically. Like everything you need to beat the game or progress, you can just get from villagers. They're completely broken. And they did try to fix this. Now, people didn't like the change because it made them have to do these ridiculous things going from one biome to another, and the chances of actually getting the thing you want weren't exactly good. But villagers are just completely broken. I can understand why they wanted to change said thing. I like how you had to go to the biomes. It incentivizes exploration in the game because you don't really have to do that much exploring, to be honest, in the game. There's not many reasons to go loads of different places unless you, needing very specific resources from this biome and this biome to make this thing. So this leads to another issue I have with the game, which is the rarity of items. Core items in the game that most players obtain during playthroughs don't really feel that rare or special anymore. Big one, diamonds. I find them everywhere, literally everywhere. They don't really feel that rare like they used to. Most of the time I just find them and think, it's diamonds. Or I just don't pick them up because I don't need them. I don't need them. I don't want them. Simple as that. Most of the time I ever get them to do, your netherite. That's kind of it. I don't really use them for much else. Not much for building. I don't see the point. Most of these are sort of balance changes that affect the replayability of the game, which would be kind of fitting for a game drop. It's not too many, major changes. And I guess it wouldn't be that interesting for the larger player base, but it'd be really healthy for the game. There are a few other features that could be added alongside that to make it a bit more of an interesting of an update. Overall, I really do like the game drops. They feel very pre-2016. I just hope at some point we can get a larger 2020 or 2021 styled update like the cave update or, the Deep Dark, the Nether. It'd be really nice. Obviously they don't do it all the time. Just at some point, a big update would be really nice. that's my rant. I just wanted to sort of talk about the game and how drops have changed. I definitely haven't thought through everything because I wrote this in about 30 minutes. So there'll be missing segments, ideas, other thoughts. So leave your thoughts. I would like to know what you want from the game in the future. And that's pretty much it.